welcome back. We're now at part 4 of this week's new comics, bitches. And let's continue on. Ultimate Comics X-Men, number 8. I don't have it to show you because I have a friend who actually buys all of the books that have the digital download codes, and he just gives me the codes, so I read them on my computer. This was basically, it's the aftermath of number 7, where Storm and all of the mutants inside Camp Angel basically say, you know what, no more. This is way too fucked up what's going on here. We're not even, the next evolutionary step. We've been created by the government that is now lording over us and saying, you have to stay here. Or even not even have to, but just that you should. And it's recommended that you do. Because it's not really a prison, but it is. And some prisoners are treated very harshly. And of course that's part of what's discovered in this issue, and partially what we saw in the last issue with them beating on Colossus and essentially torturing him. But Storm has had enough. She decides, okay, it's time to wipe these fucking Sentinels out and take this place back. We're going to call it our own. And things are going according to plan until Stacy X, the kind of, bad seed, if you will, the kind of, faux Magneto, if you will, has determined that their human captors should die because they were considered kind of enemy combatants. So why shouldn't, the same rules apply to their captors? Storm, of course, steps in and says, this is not our way. Those of us who are lucky enough to be students of Xavier, we know better. That we know that we need to coexist. And this particular issue is a huge game changer for Ultimate Comics X-Men, because this is basically drawing the line in the sand. This is where they know, okay, shit gets really serious right now. It's because Nick Spencer's been kind of milksopping it as far as this book is concerned since a couple of issues back with kind of the Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, and it's just kind of been muling its way, just kind of, and it's been very disappointing until this issue. And it's like, this issue and the previous issue have both been terrific. And is that number 9 or number 8? I think it's number 9. It doesn't really matter. The newest issue of Ultimate X-Men. But first of all, Paco Medina's art, is just terrific. I love his art. I love his art style. It works very well. Anyway, so what we have here again is, going back to the story itself. You have these two opposing forces, and then in the middle, you have the one who ultimately decide the fate of their captors, and that's Colossus. I won't say what happened, because I don't think that I should, but this is, like I said, this is a game changer. This is the one where either it all goes right from here on out, and starts getting a lot stronger, or it goes back to, or it just goes back to where it was before. I don't see it going back to the way that it was before. I think Spencer's a better writer than that. I think he's smarter, and I think that he needs to hold on and hold out for a little bit longer. So 4.5 out of 5, very solid 4.5 out of 5 to the most recent issue of Ultimate X-Men. Fantastic Four 605. This was a lovely issue, and I mean that in the best possible way. Basically what this whole issue, it's a one-off, and it's about fathers and sons and friends and family, because we can now relax, because ultimately the threat of the Celestials and Galactus and everything like that has been staved off by the future Franklin and Valeria. But what we have here is Nathaniel and Reed traveling into the future to see what lies ahead, to see the legacy left behind by the Fantastic Four and by the heroes in general. And one of the things they go into here that never occurred to me before, and I don't know if maybe it occurred to other people who've been reading this. I haven't read Fantastic Four regularly ever, so this is my first time ever with this book, because Hickman's work on it just started to take me to this really interesting place. So, but Ben Grimm, he, for 1 week a year, he takes a serum that allows him to turn back to normal. But that's the only time he ever ages, is when he takes that serum. So, I mean, they go 1,000 years into the future, Nathaniel and Reed, and they see, that the Fantastic Four, essentially, they're still kind of together over 1,000 years, and Ben Grimm is still clobbering time, as it were. And they go forward another 1,000 years, and another 1,000 years, and another 1,000 years, and it's just. It almost made me cry, because the cover is very it belies what lies within. It says, okay, well, these people, they lived only until 2012. That's not the case here. I'm hoping it's not the case anyway. It's still 2012. This is still kind of just the beginning. We're only 4 months in, and but this is done so beautifully. Hickman writes it so beautifully. Ron Garney is the artist here. I really liked his art. This was just, I'm not sure why. This was kind of more meant to be in my kind of picks of the week group, because this is a 5 out of 5 comic right here. Fantastic Four, like I said, I've never read it on a regular basis, but I'm so glad that I started, because this has just been an amazing book. And FF, until once Fantastic Four started, I've dropped FF. I'm just Fantastic Fouring it from now on, because I honestly don't really care what's going on with the rest of these characters. So, moving along. Winter Soldier, number 4. Doom versus Doombot. And the plans of the Red Ghost and Lucia von Bardas, and basically, how James, because I can't really call him Bucky anymore, how he is teamed up, how both he and Natasha have kind of teamed up with Doom to stop the Doombots. And it goes about as well as could be expected, but this is also about, for James, it's about stopping the other kind of, stasis soldier that they have from Project Zephyr. And it ends kind of tragically for the for Arcady, the other Zephyr project member. But again, we get to we have the last one, and we have the Red Ghost and his simians, and we finally kind of find out the end game of what Von Bardas was really after, as far as what she wants to do. And Brubaker just continuing to amp up the the kind of the very kind of secretive, the spy, kind of all of this kind of covert action going on, things that and there's even a remark about Dr. Doom's stealth skills, which apparently there are none, because he is ultimately such a narcissist that he has to show every move that he makes. It's just, art-wise from Butch Geis, I mean, whose work I just didn't really cotton to until recently, is terrific. Brubaker's writing has been terrific. It's sharp. It's very, it works in the context of pretty much everything that Brubaker does. And so it's another just terrific issue. It's a 4.5 out of 5. Winter Soldier. I mean, it just continues to be a fantastic book. Wolverine and the X-Men, number 8. We finally got Chris Bachalo back, and just in time for one of the coolest issues yet of this comic, and they've all been really good. So I'm just really, I'm sorry. I think I might have fucked up in my earlier reviews of. No, I think never mind. Fuck it. If I'm wrong, then you'll point it out, and I won't care. But like I said, Nick Bradshaw's art I was loving anyway. But here, of course, we have what happened on the Casino Planet. What happened to poor old Wolverine there, because he actually got the adamantium in his legs bent and broken. I mean, not, the adamantium hasn't snapped, but his bones have. And so this book essentially is about a couple different things. We've got Cade Kilgore, of course, our, pint-sized conqueror and arch enemy of the X-Men, has hired Sabretooth to assist them in destroying the X-Men. How does that happen? Well, Sabretooth gives kind of a master class on how to strike at the X-Men best, especially Wolverine. And but what we've got here is that it's best to strike at the heart, and the heart that he sees, that Sabretooth sees, is Hank McCoy, the Beast. And what Beast is looking to do here in this issue is he's looking to go up to Sword headquarters and get this matter transmutation ray so that he can restore because the adamantium is set in Wolverine's legs, and so that it can restore and bend it back to where it needs to be, so that Wolverine can walk around again, because right now he's just in a wheelchair. The kids go off to the Casino Planet again, or the kids go off this time, kind of an unsanctioned little field trip there, and we have some just really interesting parts going on there with the youngsters and with Angel, who's still kind of trying to find his way, and we have the child version again of Mr. Sinister, Genesis, or he calls himself Evan. This is not as hilariously funny of a book because Aaron concentrates a lot more on the action, and it concentrates a lot more on what is going on between Beast and Sabretooth, and that basically Sabretooth is going to kill Abigail Brand. Just this book just keeps defying what I think it's going to be and how good it's going to be. Jason Aaron is just doing a brilliant job writing this series. Chris Bachalo, what a great artist. And what a great story. just great action beats. The whole confrontation between Beast and Sabretooth is so telling about who Hank is, and it's awesome. And I can't wait for the next issue. 4.5 solid out of 5 for Wolverine and the X-Men #8. So we'll be right back with more comics.